Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Sunday. It is 18th of January. And it is Madhav Masa, Magha Masa, and Krishna Paksham, Amavasya Tithi. So today it is also called Mauni Amavasya. Mauni Amavasya is like maintaining the silence. So that is the main thing. And also offering oblations to the forefathers. And Amavasya days. There is no events in the Vaishnava calendar, but there is Mauni Amavasya. So many people after the Sankranti festivals, they also offer their respects to the forefathers. And also they go to the sacred rivers like Ganges and then take bath in that rivers for their purification. And also Mauna is the Maunam Sadasana Jaya Stadium Prana Janasanehi. It is one of the limbs of the spiritual process, keeping silence. And also, keeping silence means not speaking of any of the materialistic activities about economic or something like so many other things are there. But it is for the introspection. It is for introspection and meditation, self-realization. So these are the main purposes of it, and also perform the acts of charity. So donating food to the people or the poor people and giving books or this is Vidyadana, Annadhana, like the essential things to the needy people. Okay, and the holy beds and the ancestors worship Pitru Puja and also perform to Krishna these bhajans and kirtans to the Supreme Lord. So these are all prescribed on this day, Mauni Amavasya. Okay, that's all from the event's perspective. So for today, we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Maitreya Muni speaking to Vidura, describing the conversations between the Supreme Lord and also Brahma. After Brahma's prayers, the Supreme Lord manifested himself in his heart, and there he is giving instructions to Brahma and also appreciating Brahma's prayers as well. And then he says that, O Brahma, by my mercy only, by my mercy only, you are able to do all these glorifications and describe my opulences. Likewise, he was appreciating. And I am very pleased with you, O Brahma, and all your endeavors will be glorified by all other planetary systems. So Brahma is such a exalted devotee. Okay, so likewise, यच्च कड्ढङ्गमस्तोत्रं मत्कत अभ्युदयाङ्कितं यद्वा तपसि ते निष्ठा स एष मदनुग्रहः स एष मदनुग्रहः everything by my mercy only प्रीतोऽहमस्तु भद्रं ते लोकानां विजयेच्छया यदोस्तौषिः गुणमयं निर्गुणं मानुवर्णयन्. So you have glorified me, which are all of transcendental qualities, and they are all not materially tinged any of my qualities. And then you glorified me. I am very pleased with you, Brahma. And then after saying that, Lord is saying to Brahma that whoever is all every day glorifies me like this, using the Brahma's prayers, I will fulfill all of their benedictions. Because I'm the Lord of, I am Varada. Varada is, I'm Varadeshwara. I am the benediction giver. I am the Lord of giving all benedictions. So likewise, whoever is praying, offering those prayers of Brahma, Canto 3, Chapter 9, 1 to 25 slokas, these are Brahma's prayers. Whoever is glorifying every day, Lord is going to fulfill their desires. Likewise, Lord is assuring Brahma, but it should be, those prayers should be with love and devotion. And those desires will be fulfilled very quickly. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 9, verse number 40. य एतेन पुमानित्यं स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत् तस्यासु सम्प्रसीदेयं सर्वकामवरेश्वरः. य एतेन पुमानित्यं, and anyone etena by this, puman a human being, nityam regularly. Etena puman nityam every day or regularly. Stutva stotrena mam bhajet, and they're praying to the Lord stotrena by the verses. Stutva stotrena mam bhajet. Mam bhajet. It is bhajet worshipping me. Whoever worships me. Tasyasu samprasideyam. Tasya asu, and all of his asu, very quickly, all of his samprasideyam, I shall fulfill sarvakama vareshwaraha, all desires, all desires. Sarvakama vareshwaraha, I am Lord of all benedictions. Likewise, Lord is saying to Brahma, whoever glorifies the Lord with these shlokas every day or regularly, all of their desires will be fulfilled very quickly, also or very soon. ययेतेन पुमानित्यं स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत् तस्यासु सम्प्रसीदेयं सर्वकामवरेश्वरः. The translation: any human being who prays like Brahma and who thus worships me shall very soon be blessed with the fulfillment of all his desires, for I am the Lord of all benediction. Okay, can I request Saranya Mataji to read the purport? Asha Mataji.
The prayers offered by Brahma cannot be chanted by anyone who desires to fulfill his own sense gratification. Such prayers can be selected only by a person who wants to satisfy the Lord in his service. The Lord certainly fulfills all desires in regard to transcendental loving service, but he cannot fulfill the whims of non devotees, even when such casual devotees offer him the best of prayers. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here, these prayers, Brahma's prayers are exalted prayers. Those prayers contain glorification of the Lord. So when we are going to the Father to ask something, then we glorify Father, you are so good, Father. And then the children will come very nicely. And then some children, they have got good intentions. Some children, they wanted to enjoy for themselves. And they mask themselves and mask their desires, and then they will come and very nicely and flatter the Father. But their desires are not auspicious. Such kind of things, Father knows those intentions. That may not be good for him. So he does not fulfill, like Prabhupada is mentioning here. But here, Brahma's prayers are there exalted. One Brahma prayed through his heart. Yavan manovachah sutva. Yavan Manu Vachaha Stutva. By all his Tapo Vidya Samadhibihi. So, Swasambhav Nishami Evam Tapo Vidya Samadhibihi. Tapo Vidya Samadhibihi. And Yavan Manovacha Stutva Virama Sakinnavat. Brahma's prayers are very intensive. He has used mind, words, and Yavan completely all himself throughout his heart. Okay, so here, thereby Brahma cannot be chanted by the praise after by Brahma cannot be chanted by anyone who desires to fulfill his own sense gratification. It's not possible. They may say only through the sake of the words, but they cannot do through the heart and through the mind, like that they cannot do it. But here, all these things to be aligned mind, words, and manasa, vacha, karmana by the body as well. Then things may come into the perfection. So here, such prayers can be selected only by a person who wants to satisfy Lord in his service, in the devotional service. So that would be the straightforward. If we please Krishna, so when we have got so many desires, Sukadeva Goswami says, Akama sarvakamo va moksha kama udharadihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Either one has got desires, full of desires, no desires, or moksha desire. I want to get liberation. Whatever the desire you have got, but you need to come to only the Supreme Lord. Once we come to the Supreme Lord, and devotees may come, for example, in the devotional service, there are levels of devotees from beginners to the end. And these prayers can be chanted by anyone, but however, according to the status of progress of the spiritual life, where they are situated, depends on that it would reflect in them. But a pure devotee is like Brahma, they will glorify the Lord to satisfy the Lord in his service. To satisfy the Lord in his service. But same prayers can be selected by the neophyte devotees to fulfill their desires. Like I want my family to be good, and I wanted to good health, good wealth, and so many other things. My children needs to be favorable to me. My wife and my husband needs to be favorable to me. I wanted to have a secure job. Okay, likewise, they also pray. But though everyone are praying, but levels are different. So the consciousness is different. The mood is different. In the beginning, the Lord was showing his lotus feet, the gigantic form of the Lord. Ayamata vistaratha swamana dehena lokatre sangrahena vichitra divya bharnam shukarnam kutasya vesha deham. मुकेन लोकार्तिहरस्मितेन परिस्फुरत्कुण्डलमण्डितेन सोनायितेन अदरबिम्बभासा प्रत्यरह्यन्तं सुनसेन सुभ्रुवं कदम्बकिञ्जल्कपिसिङ्गवाससा. Lesson Mahat there, what is that shloka comes? कदम्बकिञ्जल्कपिसिङ्गवससा स्वलं कृतं मेखलयाडितम्भे हारेण चानन्तधनेन वत्स श्रीवत्सवक्षलवल्लभेन. And there पुंसां स्वकामाय विविक्तमार्गैः अभ्यर्चितां कामदुगाङ्घ्रिपद्मं प्रदर्शयन्तं कृपया न केन्दुर्मयूखभिन्नाङ्गुलिचारुपत्रम्. That sloka comes. Pumsam swapamaya vivikta margaihi. They have vivikta margaihi. They will come to the Lord in so many ways. Vivikta margaihi. Abhyachitam kamadugangri padmam. And to worship the lotus feet of the Lord. And Lord always shows his lotus feet. Pradarshyantam krupaya nakendhu. With so much inclination to all the people who comes to the Lord. Abhyachitam kamadugangri padmam. Pradarshyantam krupaya nakendu mayuka bhinnanguli charu patram. So people may come knowingly or unknowingly. First of all, Lord, what will do? and he will make their determination to come to the study, but he may not fulfill all of their desires immediately. But Somakamai Vivikta Margehi Abhyachitam Kam Dugangri Padmam. Some people just they may come keeping their desires to be fulfilled, and then they go. There is no proper determination, complete faith. But here there should be an endeavor, complete surrender to the Lord, and then they can desire. That comes with complete faith, and there should be a philosophy behind, some understanding that Lord is going to fulfill. Likewise, not just simply whenever they have a desire and pop up into the temple and then giving some 10 rupees archana, one coconut, and then camphor, and then one flower, and then tulsi, and then do it, and then ask one benediction, and then go. And then he will come back for another desire, another benediction. So such kind of things, it may not work for him. But however, when he is keep on doing like that, in due course of time, that faith will build. The faith will build that on one day that will accumulate as a pious activity. That is not a bad thing. It will accumulate as a pious activity. On one day it will mature, and then his firm determination and faith on the Lord and the Lord's grace and such kind of devotees, it will bring most devotion, bring nearer to the Lord. Then philosophy will come into the picture. He will come to the pure devotees of the Lord, like the devotees in Krishna consciousness, and then all of his desires will be moving from sense gratification to the pure devotional service. That is a number of stages. So this is for in our childhoods, we used to go to the temples and then uh, offer this flower and tulsi and then coconut, camphor, and then ask for donation. Oh my dear Lord, so let me just pass all my examinations and let me get into good job. Likewise, I used to play in the childhood, but later on, those desires, why I always ask this kind of benedictions, it is very selfish. Later on, so just it's not only me, it is entire family, entire village, entire why we're limiting entire humanity. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. So gradually, that desire will be generous for all the living entities. Let all auspicious things come, and then finally, whatever Lord wish to give benedictions to the all the living, let Lord will give. I do not know what to ask. So that desires, the levels of desires will be gradually increasing to the transcendental platform. Let the Lord decide whatever is needed for all. They all are the children of the God only. So likewise, those desires, but coming to the Lord is very, very important. And the Lord certainly fulfills all desires in regard to transcendental loving service. Okay, so this is service. However, there are again people coming to the Lord. People may come with different levels of situation. One may be in the distress. Ati. Mukena lokati harasmitena. Ati means they're in the distress. There is no one else who can relieve the distress of the people. Only Lord can only relieve. Okay, at that time they may ask some kind of things. Oh my dear Lord, they will come for a solace. Tasyavalokam krupayate ghora. So there is again one beautiful state. Kapil Bhagavan describes that. Tasyavalokam krupayate ghora tapatrayopshamanaye nisrushtamakshnoho. Tapatrayopshamaya nisrushtamakshnoho. If one goes to the Lord with so much of distress, and by the glance of the Lord, he will be relieved from such kind of distress. He will relieved. Hasa, there is Sokasa Sagar Vishoshanam Ati Udharam. By looking at the smile of the Lord, ha, uh, then this is Sokasa Sagar Vishoshanam Ati Udaram. All his lamentations, which is like a full of ocean of problems, will be dried up very quickly. हासावलोक अवनता अकिलोक तीव्रा शोकासुर सागर विशोषणम अति उदारम. And Lord's glance is so merciful. So all of his distresses will be completely relieved. So some people will come that let all my distress will go away. Likewise, some people will come. And again, that will initially some kind of results they would see. It will gradually again bring their faith onto the one platform, gradually rise. Then they will progress further. And sometimes some people may come like they have got all things and they wanted like desires in the mode of ignorance. Let other people not go beyond my opulence. Let other people not go beyond my wealth. And likewise, they have got other desires. They do not want good things to happen for others. Those desires are in the mode of ignorance. That does not help him, but instead he is desiring for someone's badness, some bad things to happen for other people. Those are all inauspicious things. Such kind of things Lord cannot fulfill, the whims of non-devotees, even when such casual devotees offer him the best of the prayers. Okay, again, there are levels of desires in the mode of goodness, desires in the mode of passion, desires in the mode of goodness, and desires in the transcendental service. Everything is of three kinds: goodness, passion, ignorance. So one must be very careful what he is desiring. When devotees are asking something to the Lord, so again 2 years back we also did in our sangha. So many people go through. This is a dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This place is of all miseries. But here we also need some kind of solace. And where do we go if Lord is saying or some I cannot fulfill? So we do not have any other shelter. So Lord here Pradarshyantam Krupaya Nakendhu Mayuka Bhinnanguli Charupatram. He shows his lotus feet so that everyone will come and take shelter so that he will fulfill all those desires. Sarvakama Vareshwaraha. But gradually those desires will be nullified later on. And the devotees will be satisfied in their position. Okay, so that is from this particular shloka. ययेतेन पुमानित्यं स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत् तस्यासु सम्प्रसीदेयं सर्वकामवरेश्वरः. Okay, so again 2 years back when we have done similar kind of prayers at that time, so a desire which is conducive to the devotional service. Okay, those are all acceptable, conducive to the devotional service. Okay, as long as we have got a material body, we must do some activity, we must get some kind of livelihood to maintain the body and dependence. So during that time, we wish and then carry out some activities, but keeping Krishna in the center. At that time, we can ask some kind of desires, which is conducive to transcendental service of the Lord. Okay, can I request all devotees kindly follow this shloka recitation line by line? Ya etena puman nityam
य एतेन पुमान् नित्यं
tutva stotrena mam bhajet
स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत्
tasyasu samprasideyam
तस्यासु सम्प्रसीदेयं
sarvakama vareshwaraha.
सर्वकामवरेश्वरः.
Okay, again. Ya etena puman nityam
य एतेन पुमान् नित्यं
tutva stotrena mam bhajet
स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत्
tasyasu samprasideyam
तस्यासु सम्प्रसीदेयं
सर्वकामा वरेश्वरः.
सर्वकामवरेश्वरः.
Once more. य एतेन पुमान् नित्यं
एतेन पुमान् नित्यं
स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत्
स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत्
भजेत्
तस्यासु सम्प्रसीदेयं
तस्यासु
सम्प्रसीदेयं
सम्प्रसीदेयं
सर्वकामवरेश्वरः
सर्वकामवरेश्वरः.
Very beautiful. Okay, can I request devotees kindly take a turn to recite? Saranya Mataji, would you like to go?
हरे कृष्ण य एतेन पुमान् नित्यं स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत् तस्यासु सम्प्रसीदेयं सर्वकामावरेश्वरः हरे कृष्ण
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण य एतेन पुमान् नित्यं स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत् तस्यासु सम्प्रसीतेयं सर्वकामवरेश्वरः
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Jai Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, yes. Please accept my humble obeisances. Ya etena puman nityam stutva stotrena mam bhajet tasyashu samprasideyam sarvakama vareshwaraha. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Usha Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu, thank you. य एतेन पुमान् नित्यं स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत् तस्यासु सम्प्रसीदेयं सर्वकामं वरेश्वरः. हरे कृष्ण.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Garinge Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Okay. Yaitina pumanityam istutva istutena mam bhajit tasya su samprasidiyam sarvakama sarvakama varesaram.
Vareshwaraha.
Okay. Can I repeat again, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yaitina pumanityam istutvam istutrena mam bhajit tasya su samprasidiyam sarvakama varesuraha. Hare
Very
Krishna.
beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, Saranya Mataji, would you like to go once again? Jai Mataji, you want to go once again?
Yes, please. Yeah, thank you. Ya etena puman nityam stutva stotrena mam bhajet tasyashu samprasideyam sarvakama vareshwaraha. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु य एतेन पुमान् नित्यं स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत् तस्यासु सम्प्रसीदेयं सर्वकामवरेश्वरः
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Usha Mataji, you want to go once again?
Yes. य एतेन पुमान् नित्यं स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत् तस्यासु सम्प्रसीदेयं सर्वकामं वरेश्वरः. हरे कृष्ण.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, anyone else want to go once again? Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. And Mataji, would you like to read the translation as well, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you ask me for it?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Any human beings who praise like Brahma and who thus worships me shall very soon be blessed with the fulfillment of all his desire. For I am the Lord of all benediction. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Great. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. Okay, so Lord also gives a clues what kind of desire sequence. Saranya Mataji, you want to do?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhu. Did you call me, Prabhu?
Yes, you wanted to recite once again?
Oh, sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. य एतेन पुमान् नित्यं स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत् तस्य सुसंप्रसीदेयं सर्वकामावरेश्वरः.
And so read translation message.
Hare Krishna. Any human beings who praise like Brahma and who thus worship me shall very soon be blessed with the fulfillment of all his desires, for I am the Lord of all benediction. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So here, Lord also gives one of the hint, like Varam Varya Badhram Te Vareshe Ma Abhivanchitam Brahman Shreya Parishramah Pumsam Mad Darshanavadihi. O Brahma, you ask all kinds of benedictions. What do you want? Varam Varya Badhram Te Vareshe Ma Abhivanchitam Brahman Shreya Parishramah Pumsam Mad Darshanavadihi. After so much of fastings and penances, one has to come and see me. That is the highest perfection. That is the benedictions he can ask as the highest. Lord gives the indication to Brahman. Varam Varya Badhram Te Vareshama Abhivanchitam Brahman Shreya Parishiramaha Pumsam Maddarshanavadihi. Pumsam Maddarshana Avadihi. That is the highest benediction. Okay, Lord also gives that clue. Because if we are, some people may ask small things and based on their consciousness. Like if a poor person who does not have any grains for him, then he will go to a king. Oh, king, so I know that you can give all kinds of things, but I wanted some kind of broken rice for me. That is not very intelligent. Palikaran iva adhanaha. Palikaran iva adhanaha. This is Dhruv Maharaj. He contemplates after asking, I wanted a big job, my father, than my grandfather. That is bigger job than Lord Brahma. Then later on, Lord gives, I am fulfilling your desire that you will become you will be ruling the Dhruv Loka. That desire will be fulfilled. After that, finally you will come back to me. Later on, Dhruv Maharaj contemplates, what have I done? What kind of benedictions did I ask? And I thought that my stepbrother Uttama and my stepmother Surchi, they were all envious to me. In such a way I have thought, and but I have asked this kind of foolish, this kind of desire. This is palikaran iva adhanaha. He contemplates. But here Lord gives the indication what kind of maddarshanavadihi. Pumsa. This is Brahma Shreya Parishiramaha Pumsam Maddarshanavadihi. That is one has to ask. Highest thing. Otherwise, anything here in this material world, we may ask that may come and go, but that is not permanent. What is permanent? Lord is giving here that instructions to Brahma. Here we got Neeraj Prabhuji also joined. Prabhuji, would you also like to recite this shloka if you wanted?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Ya etna punam nityam sotva sotrena mam bhajet tasya su sampasedayam sarva karma varishvara.
Very
Hare
beautiful.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. And when we have also one more thing, when we are asking benedictions, if one is accumulated or acquainted with some knowledge, then he will know what to ask. Jnanam paramuguhye me yad vijnana samanvitam sa rahasyam tadangam cha gruhana gaditam maya yavanaham yatabhavo yadrupa gunakarmakaha tataiva tattva vijnanam astute madanagrahat. Everything, all the knowledge will be revealed. All my pastimes, my qualities, everything will be revealed in your heart, O Brahma, by my mercy. Lord gives. These are the indications. Manishan anbhavoye mamaloka avalokanam yad bhupasutya rahasi chakadha paramam tapaha. Manishitanu anubhavoyam mama loka avalokanam. They have to come back to me, back to home, back to Godhead, and then enjoy with me, live with me very peacefully. Manishitanu anubhavoyam mama loka avalokanam. Yad upsrutya rahase chakadha paramam tapaha. You have taken my this confidential instruction, carried out this tapasya. So the Lord is saying, okay, so like after that, this is Sarva Kama Vareshwara. Lord fulfills all desires to the devotees, whoever goes. But he also says, what is the best thing? Pumsam maddarshanavadihi manishthanu anubhavoye mamalok avalaukanam. But it is for a person who is performing the austerities and penances. Their desires will be fulfilled. Not just going and then asking some benedictions and come back. There is no behind it. There may be people, they ask for anything, but who is enduring? I also wanted to get a good job, a job with £1,000,000 a salary per month. It is my desire. So, but a person, that desire can be fulfilled by a person who has got endeavor, a strategic plan, okay, step by step, what I should do, who is planning and who is working, and he will be able to get it. Not simply a person just simply having desires. Okay. Brahma has performed the task already. Then he is asking, and Lord is fulfilling those desires. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam K-Ch10. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Can I request Jai Mataji to read this letter, please?
Yes, okay. Hare Krishna. Letter to Dinesh Chandra, Gorakhpur. My dear Boston, sorry. My dear Dinesh Chandra, please accept my blessings. I'm in due receipt of your letter dated 23rd January 1971 and enclosed with one letter from your good wife Krishna Devi. It is so much encouraging that you are distributing our books so nicely in the Boston area, and especially that several bookstore chains have taken so many copies of Krishna book and TLC teachings of Lord Chaitanya see to it that this program continues there in Boston with increasing volume. That will be a great success for our missionary activities. Yes, you can see to making more records, certainly. The more our movement is increased, the more the demand for these records will be there. People here in India are also wanting these records. So you can send one copy of every record as samples here immediately to the above given Bombay address. Records are exempt from our life membership program. Also, the new recording described by you meets my approval. So do it nicely. You can send the booklet here as soon as it is done. So far as you're establishing one center in Israel, I've already written Krishna Devi about this. I have all blessings for you both in this regard. So you may go there immediately. Hoping this will meet you in good health. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, the one bit I didn't understand properly about the records, but I've never come across that before. So the first thing is obviously that he is writing to Dinesh Chandra Prabhuji and separate letter to his wife. And he's so happy with them that, they are distributing the book so nicely. And Boston is very dear to him as well, because Boston is where he landed first when he came to the West. And this is where he started his movement. And he's so happy that the books are the main, almost like the lifeline of the movement. So he's so happy that the books are being distributed so nicely. The bookstores are also taking so many of the Krishna books and teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and that is the way that to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. So he's very happy with that and happy with the success. The second bit is about the records. Now I don't know what records means. Is it some sort of record as in record, or publication of some lectures in way of CD cassettes or something like that? I'm not too sure about the records. It's he's saying that obviously it's not part of the membership program, but he's very happy that they have done it, and he's seen some sort of um, positiveness in there, that maybe that might help as well. It meets his approval. So he's saying, so I'm not sure what those records are, because he's saying you can send the booklet here. So maybe it's some, I don't know. Prabhuji, you might have to fill me in that as well. And lastly, he's happy that the disciples are willing to open a center in Israel, and he's giving them the blessings. So both husband and wife, it looks like, will go there and establish a center there in Israel. And he's asking them to go there immediately, because he sees there is a need to spread something in Middle East as well. So yeah, sorry about this, Prabhuji. I don't know much about it.
Thank you, Mataji. You did nicely summarize. So there's records Prabhupada used to when he gives the lectures, and or when he is doing those things, transcribing the purports. When he is giving purports, he records everything, and later on in the lectures also they are recorded. Okay, some of them video recordings. So this one, if you look at this, the time is 1971. So by that time, Prabhupada's dictaphone was there, and some kind of recordings were there. And Prabhupada lectures also were recorded. This is what I am also contemplating. So voice records.
No, Prabhuji, what I'm contemplating is that the book records how many books has been sold. That record they need.
This one, the more demand for these records.
Yes, you can see making more records certainly. So they're selling books. So they're making some record of books.
So
That
books are different, Prabhuji. So
okay.
distribution.
I think like you, Prabhuji, as well, that for me, I thought it was some sort of recording in cassette or something. So that was my thinking as well.
Yes,
Because otherwise, knowing the records, it's a bit boring just to see. Well, not boring, but you know what I mean. It's like you can't be making records all the time of publication. That's just for, but records about the knowledge, the lectures is much more beneficial to people, isn't it? Like they would listen to it more.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Initially, I thought it was a record like as in, George Harrison, sort of like music records. And then I reread again and I thought maybe it was some different, but I was unsure. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, those are Prabhupada's lectures recording. Possibly this is what I'm contemplating. But here Prabhupada during that time, he is in the Gorakhpur. Prabhupada is writing from Gorakhpur, and Dinesh Chandra is in the Boston. And Prabhupada, by the time, he has recorded many things of his lectures, those things, but in order to prepare copies by those recordings. So that is possibly what I am contemplating. Mataji. You can make more records. Okay, but anyway, so that main motto is distribution of the books and spreading Krishna consciousness movement in whatever the channel it is possible, either through the recordings or televisions or radio or books or magazines. every moment and by the word of mouth is a different channels. Spread Krishna consciousness. Then Krishna will be very pleased. Krishna says, whoever is endeavoring to spread Krishna consciousness movement, they are very dear to me. Like my Lord says. Okay, that is my contemplation. So my takeaway, my reflections as well. Any other points? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter and from the announcements point of view. So today evening we have got 6:30 p.m. with Japa session, and we don't have any evening programs Sunday. And apart from that, yesterday we have got this one historical foundation stuff. So some part what I have heard and the takeaway points. Some part we have heard repeatedly than previous session. And then Prabhuji was a little bit deeperly mentioning about the some of the characters like Dhritarashtra and those things, Devakiputra from the Vedas, Yajurveda, like that. And the Prabhuji's mood is, first of all, taking the initiative and giving this presentation to the devotees initially for the acceptance, so that he will be further spreading to different groups and sanghas, and then to raise the fund and make awareness and the sanghas network. He wanted to build that network. There is a historical WhatsApp group as well. So Prabhu has got. So anyone one is interested, that can also be shared. They can be part of it. That is the main motto. And also at the same time parallelly raising the funds. So he is also a devotee and initiated devotee, Chakrapani Das, and he is carrying out this work to preserve the Brajabhumi and also giving that heritage to our descendants. That is also Krishna consciousness. Okay, but so any particular act in this world, it requires certain kind of maintaining things. Like it needs the land, it needs the labor, it needs the money, so it needs a service. So all these things, for anything, it requires somewhere or other all these things. Not only this thing, devotional things, material things, it is properly also required, but it lacks the spirituality in it. But we have got that spirit within it. There is a purpose behind everything is to please Krishna, keep Krishna in center, and as much as we can support, we will do it. Okay, so this is what I have felt. But whatever we can raise the funds for him, keeping the 31st of January as the target date. As much funds we raise, and then we will send it to the Historical Foundation. Okay, this is what my brief update on it. And the devotees, if you have got any updates or any thoughts further on it, kindly share.
I think one thing is what he said was that he will be asking, or he's asking money from the government as well, and he's sure that he will get the help, but
Yeah.
sometimes these things take a long time. Whereas if he did fundraising through this means, then at least then he's got the money and he can get a move on with his project and mapping and everything. Is that correct, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, it is. He is working on this. Is a pilot project, because I'm not interested in such kind of going and searching on all those things. But however, because of everyone's conditions, their current circumstances, but at least we can chip in little bit. So some work is for Krishna is carrying out in different part by another devotee. That is the only thing I can do. Just only we can do little bit of Lakshmi contribution. Personally, it would be very hard for me to just to focus on that side. So we are here in the far away, and then we wanted to chant, we wanted to follow rules and regulations. First, we need to elevate ourselves first. And once we understand when it is going on, then we can just see if we have got a bandwidth. When we don't have bandwidth, at least we can support little bit of Lakshmi. That is only I can think
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, agreed, Prabhuji. Yeah, I mean, first we need to figure out, and then we'll see that what's happening. As you said, that maybe he might get the fund from government or something, but yeah, it's good initiative. Let's see.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, so that is there are no updates. Then we shall further move on to our Ramayana program. Ramayana. So the Ramayana, it is again very beautiful part of it. Let me just. Think somewhere it is in the Bhagavatam. Okay, let me just open a new session, new page. So many pages are getting open. Okay, so in the Ramayana, we have been discussing Ravanasura kidnapped Sita Devi, and then he has kept Sita Devi in the Lanka, in the Kanchana Lanka, and he has showed Sita Devi all the palaces, and he bragged about himself, his opulences, everything. But Sita Devi not interested in it. And later on, Sita Devi was kept in a groves, the forest groves, or which is also called that Ashoka Vana. That part is done, and that is kidnapping of Sita is done. Now, Rama's terrible discovery. We have entered into this part, and later on, Lakshmana has come from the hermitage to find Rama, and then Rama immediately, when he encountered Lakshmana, immediately he is saying, "Oh, Lakshmana, why did you came here? Why did you come here, leaving Sita alone?" Now, I think this is a demon, and demon's plan might have successful. So in kidnapping Sita, and then Lakshmana also says that Sita Mata was saying like that her words are piercing my heart, so that I have to leave from that place. But why did you take? Rama says, why did you take seriously of the woman words? Likewise, he says, um, because women they will be speaking sometimes in the emotions. Man should not consider such kind of things seriously. Okay, likewise, Rama says to Lakshmana, and then um, so Lakshmana is now a bit stressed from one side from Sita Devi, another side from Rama. So this is whenever spiritual master is also carrying out the instructions of his spiritual master, and also carrying out the looking after the disciples. He's spreading, but no one is coming or interested sometimes. And if they come, it is to follow the instructions of spiritual master, it is very hard. Though it is simple, but it is hard because it needs steady and consistency. But somewhere or other he has to carry out. So duty of a spiritual master is also not easy. It is like a two sides. One side he wanted to make sure that he is aligning to his spiritual master instructions. Other side he is looking after his duties. Okay, now later on, Rama, uh, Lakshmana explained everything to Rama, how he had tried hard to convince Sita of Rama's invincibility, how she had accused him of having ulterior motives. This part we have seen. So again, she was overwhelmed by sentiment. Why had he allowed himself to fall prey to anger? He had failed to carry out Rama's order. He had failed to carry out Rama's order. Now they would surely meet calamity. Rama turned and continued to run toward his hermitage, his mind fixed on Sita. This part we have covered. Okay, now, though we have covered it or not little bit from this paragraph, so we shall continue from here. I request dear devotees kindly read 2 paragraphs each devotee. Let us see how big is that one. Or a page of it. Okay. Hare Krishna, Neeraj Prabhuji, would you like to read Prabhuji this page?
Yeah, sure. Hare Krishna. As Rama ran, he felt a tremor run through his limbs. His left eye throbbed violently, greatly perturbed by these baleful omens. Rama crashed through the forest. He seems almost to fly, obviously of the creepers and the brushes which lashed him, breaking into the clearing where he had his hermitage. He ran about wildly looking for Sita. He called her name again and again, but on finding no sign of her, his heart was sank. Rama examined his hut and the surrounding ground closely. He resembled a lotus flower blighted by the winter and deprived of its charm. The trees seemed to cry as they creaked in the wind. The flowers appeared faded and dull. Deers and birds were restless and ill at ease. Rama saw blood of Kosha's grasses scattered around, along with the flower petals fallen from Sita's garland. He wailed loudly, surely Sita has been snatched away, or perhaps she lied dead somewhere, or has she gone out playfully, hiding now his spot. Rama searched frantically, but Sita was nowhere to be found. He feared the worst. This was surely the work of the Rakshasas. Even now the Sita must be in their clutches. Rama imagined Sita as she was carried away. She must have carried out for him in plaintive tones. As she was borne upwards, her beautiful face streaked with tears. Fear would have gripped the timid princess. Perhaps at that very moment she were being devoured by demons who were cutting open her soft neck and drinking her blood. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So here, so Rama now his mind fixed on Sita, and now he is running towards hermitage. And Rama ran, he felt a tremor run through his limbs. This is again omens. So felt a tremor run through his limbs. His left eye throbbed violently. This is also sometimes we feel this one, but nowadays we ignore. But in the past days, even for myself, though as a child, I used to think of all these omens, carefully observe if something is happening, the throbbing of left arm and left eye, this stuff. And then I can imagine in short duration of time, though we were in the age of around 10 years or 12, 14 years. So we were very carefully observe these moments. It comes from the tradition. We learn everything. It is not, no one will teach automatically. But as parents or the elders, they're all talking and discussing, and we also witness those things happens. Those things are happening. Based on that, we take it. These are the life lessons we did not get to be taught in the schools. Okay, these are the life lessons. We practically live and learn. Now here, Rama's left eye throbbed violently, greatly perturbed by these baleful omens. These are baleful omens. Rama crashed through the forest. He seemed almost to fly. This is how um, uh, we can imagine whenever Gajendra, there is a pastime of Gajendra, when he was in very distressful condition and when his leg was caught by a crocodile in the pond and he is taking a lotus flower and then calling the Lord with so much distress. Lord was in the Lord was in the Vaikuntha planet with the goddess of fortune, and he was lying on the Adishesha. And Gajendra is calling, he is running from the Vaikuntha like anything. So Gajendra mood is like that. He is asking, where you are, just come, run away, and then come to me. And Lord is not even waiting for Garuda. He is running from that Vaikuntha to here. Similarly, whenever again coming to Mahabharat pastime, so how Lord is running towards his devotees. And also Draupadi, when during the forest in the Vanavasa time, at that time Akshay Patra stuff, Durvasa Muni comes there with along with all his disciples, and then after Draupadi has taken her meal, and then now she is in the most pressured condition. Then she prays to Krishna immediately. Oh my dear Lord Dwarkadesha, please come. And then she is mentioning, and then Lord comes there and then helps Draupadi. And then later on, Lord leaves. How devotee is calling, based on that, Lord also appear there. Okay, so here the Sita Mata, she was also crying, "Oh Rama, where are you?" So this is happening to me. She was also crying before. Now Lord is going, looking for Sita Devi here. Rama crashed through the forest. He seemed almost to fly, oblivious of the creepers and the bushes which lashed him. Breaking into the clearing where he had his hermitage, he ran about wildly looking for Sita. He called her name again and again, but on finding no sign of her, his heart sank. Yeah, I think everyone might have come across this kind of scenarios in their lives when we contemplate here looking at the Rama's pastimes. Okay, and then he observes all the symptoms within the hermitage, what is happening, and the flower petals fallen from Sita's garland, and the environment looks a bit disturbed condition. Okay, those symptoms are given here. He wailed loudly. So surely Sita has been snatched away. So it's a different contemplations. Or she might be hiding somewhere in the spot. And Rama is searching all the hermitage in and around all the premises. Now he is feared the worst. And also his contemplate it is the demon's plan. So this is likewise Rama's mood. She is feeling as Rama is feeling for the worst for what has happened to Sita. Or demons might have killed her and drinking her blood like that. Okay, so we shall move on further. Asha Mataji, would you like to read the next page, Mataji?
Hare Krishna. Rama ran from tree to tree, his eyes red from sorrow. He appeared almost crazy. He questioned the trees. "O Kadamba, O Bilava, O Arjuna tree, where is Janaka's frail daughter? Is she alive or not?" In the madness of grief, he spoke to animals, the river, the sky, and the earth itself. But they all remained silent, heightening, heightening Rama's anguish. The forest and river deities remembering Ravana's frightful form, were petrified with fear and could make no reply. As Rama gazed around, it seems to him that he saw Sita in the sides of the forest. The yellow flowers looked like her silk garment, the creepers flowing in the wind because her limbs. Rama thought he saw his beloved wife everywhere. He ran toward her crying, but found only the desolate and echoing forest. Rama rebuked himself for leaving Sita. What would he say to Kaushalya? How could he even look at Janaka, that ever truthful monarch? Rama felt as he would die. But then what would his father say upon seeing him arrived in heaven killed by grief? Surely the emperor would reproach him for becoming a liar but not completing the term of his exile. Rama lamented piteously. I shall never return to Ayodhya. Kaihehi may rejoice, her purpose fulfilled. O Lakshman, you should embrace and Bharata and tell him to long rule over this wide earth, for Rama is no more. Without Sita, I shall not accept even heaven. What then of this world? With Sita's death has come mine. For failing to protect the gentle princess, I shall reach unending regions of hell. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So now it is the Rama's turn. How much love Rama has got towards Sita. So here we can see Rama ran from tree to tree. His eyes red from sorry. He appeared almost crazy. He questioned the trees. Oh Kadam, oh Bilva, oh Arjuna tree. Where is Janaka's frail daughter? Is she alive or not? And also here he is calling to everything, all the Panchabhutas, the rivers, the sky, earth, and but they all remained silent. And now Rama's anguish got heightened. Okay, so this is the another sign of the nature. And then he see everywhere Sita only. So and then he's whenever he thinks that she might be here, she might be there, and he goes there, but he will find only the desolate and echoing forest. Okay, that is the Rama is saying, and he is in very anguish, very distressed. Rama rebuked himself for leaving Sita. What would he say to Kaushalya? How could even he look at Janaka, that ever truthful monarch? Rama felt in all these contemplations, from his personal side, from the nature side, and from his father's responsibilities and duties. And one side is also demon side. He is contemplating in every angle. And also, but when that would his father say upon seeing him arrived in heaven, if Rama says that he would die, then if what it means? So if he'll go to the heaven, then if his father comes and asks him in the heaven, what have you done? How did you carry out your duty? Then what he would answer to his father. So likewise, he is contemplating. Killed by grief, or you? This is one should not fall prey to the lamentation. This is a shoka at the lamentation. At any point of time, one should not come under prey. But of course, in the distressful conditions, like if one is losing his beloved one, but lamentation will took over for some time. But we need to have similar kind of people in and around us who will console us, for time being. If there is no one else, it will be very, very hard situation. But That consolation should come from the scriptural point of view, and also it will be determined, one can be determined to carry out his duty, come out from the lamentation that is needed. Otherwise, if you stuck up and bury ourselves in the lamentation, we cannot do anything at all. Okay, so now Rama is surely emperor would reproach him for becoming a liar by not contemplating the terms of his exile. Okay, again he is not following the duty. Rama lamented piteously, I shall never return to Ayodhya. Kaigai may rejoice, her purpose fulfilled. O Lakshman, you should embrace Bharata and tell him to long rule over this wide earth. For Rama is no more. Without Sita, I shall not accept even heaven. What then of this world? With Sita's death has come mine. Because there is no Sita, and that means I am also no more. So for failing to protect that gentle princess, I shall reach unending regions of hell. Okay, this is the mood of Ramchandra. When Ramchandra in this mode, he needs definitely one person to help him, solace him, to come out from that lamentation and put him back under to carry out his duty. Okay? So that is the mood of Ramchandra at the moment. We shall move on further. Okay, can I request next? Garinga Mataji, would you like to read next 3 paragraphs, Mataji? Garinga Mataji. Jai Mataji, please.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Rama, sorry. Okay, Rama fell weeping to the ground. He censured himself in many ways. Surely this awful misfortune was the result of sinful acts performed in a past life. It was undoubtedly his destiny. Such suffering, the loss of the kingdom, separation from his beloved ones, the king's death, and now Sita's loss, could only have been caused by his own past evil deeds. Rama tossed about in pain. Seeing Rama's agony, Lakshman himself, gripped by despondency, approached his brother and said, Do not give way to despair, O mighty prince. Men of your caliber are never bewildered by even the greatest disaster. We shall yet find Sita. She cannot be far away. It is less than an hour since I left her. Let us continue our search. Rama composed himself and got up. He sighed and gazed about, wondering which way to go. As he looked at the seat outside his hut, he remembered how he had sat there with Sita by his side, how they had talked and laughed together, how she had teased him, pretending to be hurt by his words, or cajoling him to fetch a particular flower from deep in the woods. As he thought of his lotus-eyed wife, Rama's grief rose in repeated waves. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, one thing what we could see, when Rama fell weeping to the ground, he censured himself in many ways. Surely, this awful misfortune was a result of sinful acts performed in a past life. But here, Rama does not have any sinful life in the past. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, but here, what it means to human. So Rama is acting in the form of the humans. Okay, so this is also how we also act. Okay, this is we need to contemplate, because for any actions there is a reaction. Some of the activities, the fruitful activities, some are ripening, they may give good fruits, sweet fruits, some may be bitter fruits. Some are in the seed level, some are in the middle of ripening, some are fully ripe. Which are fully ripe, we are tasting those pains and pleasures. Some of them are still in the way behind. Okay, that we do not know yet. But nature will take us through all those things. Prakritehi karmani gunaihi karmani sarvashaha Ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. But we think that I am doing all these things. But actually, nature is working on the body and body because he has performed past activities. So now they are giving reactions now and taking through those waves of the material world, pains and pleasures, pains and pleasures. But when we stop these fruitful activities, asevayayam prakritir gunanam, asevayayam prakritir gunanam, jnanena vairagya vijrumbitena, jnanena vairagya vijrumbitena. Okay, let me not do all these things for the sense gratificatory things. Let whatever comes, I will just simply to carry out my duty without any attachment to the results of that activity. That is called asevayayam prakritir gunanam. Jnanena vairagya vijrumbitena. Vairagya means it is not leaving the entire family and then go to the forest. That is not vairagya. Vairagya means mukta sangaha param. What is that? Uh, detachment from the results of the activities. That is the real renunciation. Krishna says in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita in the beginning, when Arjuna asked, "What is this is called moksha sannyasa yoga." What is meant by real renunciation? Detachment from the sense gratification. Though you are in the family, but you are not attached to the bodies. You are all equipoised. You carry out your duty that is needed. But when the emotions come into the picture, we cannot carry out duty. You are my husband, you need to listen. You are my wife, you need to listen to me. Somewhere or other, you are my child, you have to do all these things. But when he comes about, okay, now a person who is in the jnana or knowledge, he thinks about his constitutional position as, okay, I am a father, what is my duty? So I will carry out my duty. And the opposite is based on my constitutional position. Opposite person, they will have to do it, but I will give the instructions, but I cannot force them. As a matter of duty, I give the instructions, I will give the knowledge, but let them choose the actions by themselves, but I do not force them to act. That is not my duty. My duty is just to give the knowledge in the whatever the way it is possible. So this is asevyayam prakritir gunanam jnanena vairagya vijrumbitena, detachment from the results of our actions. Then yogena maya epitayacha bhaktya mam pratyagatmanam ihavarundhe. Yogena maya epitatma. Yogena, this is bhakti yoga. Then when by he himself offering himself in the devotion to the Lord, then Mam Pratyagatmanam Ihavarinde, he will attain the Lord in this life itself. That is called Jivan Mukta state. Mam Pratyagatmanam Iha, in this world, Avarunde, he will attain. Kapil Bhagavan says that one. Asevyayam Prakrutir Gunana, Jnanena Vairagya Vijrumbitena, Yogena Maya Epitayacha Bhaktya, Maya Epitayacha Bhaktya, Mam Pratyagatmanam Ihavarunde. Okay, that one has to carry out his duty. And here, if anything is passing through some pains, he simply has to tolerate those things, thinking that it is maybe my past karma, it is passing. If we try to counteract those better times with so much of endeavor, then what happens? It will give more and more pains. Intensity will be increased. That is the nature. If we tolerate, that intensity will be reduced. Gradually, it will go away. That wave will go away. But we need to simply tolerate for some time with so much of patience. Titikshavaha, karunikaha, suhrudaha, sarvadehinam, ajatachatravaha santaha, sadhavaha, sadhu bhoshanaha. So the first statement is titikshavaha, tolerate. That wave will go away. If you try to counteract that wave, it will become more and give more pain. That's why all our acharyas says that simply tolerate. Tolerance is very, very important. though they are capable of counteracting that situation, but best solution is simply tolerate, let it pass. Okay, so that way, that is the devotee's life. Whenever he comes, though he is powerful enough to counteract and do counter curses or anything, but he will be simply let it pass and tolerate and let it pass. And he engaged Trunadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishna Amanena Manadena Ketaniyaha Sada Harihi. He will keep chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, following regulated principles, knowing that this time on one day it will devour our body and everything else. Body will fall down. I do not have to endeavor for something like to counteract the bodily related things. It is needed sometimes to maintain the body for the sake of carrying out the devotional service. We need that mode. Then things will come. Keeping Krishna in the center, I'll carry out all the things what is required for the pleasure of Krishna to satisfy Krishna. Then everything will be spiritualized. Even our activities will be spiritualized because we are working under Krishna to fulfill Krishna's desire. Then also body also will turn into the spiritualized. Okay, so that is one has to contemplate in this material world. See, but here, though Rama does not have done any past life in the sinful activities, but he's contemplating in that way. And then it was undoubtedly his destiny, such suffering, the loss of kingdom, separation from his loved ones, the king's death, and now Sita's loss could only have been caused by his own past evil deeds. Rama tossed about in pain. Okay, Rama tossed about in pain. And seeing Rama's agony, this is Rama's position now. Now Lakshmana is with Rama. So Lakshmana is who is none other than Balaram. Balaram is expansion of Krishna. So Balaram is the supreme personality of Godhead in the service mode. And Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead in the enjoying mode. One is the master Godhead, another one is servant Godhead. Both are not different. Okay. And here, coming to this point of Ramayana, Rama and Lakshmana, they both have received the knowledge. They studied both under Vasistha. They both learned from Vishwamitra, all the skills and many things. So here, now Lakshmana is next to Ramachandra. Rama is now in the pain. What Lakshmana is going to see. Seeing Rama's agony, Lakshman himself, gripped by despondency, approached his brother and said, "Do not give way to despair, O mighty prince. Men of your caliber are never bewildered by even the greatest disaster. We shall yet find Sita. She cannot be far away. It is less than an hour since I left her. Let us continue our search." So this is the mood. How to console the people when one person is in the distress. We need to console them, giving the hope and showing the light. It is not all the time is dark. Just simply told that there is a light, but we need to carry out our duty. So this is the way of solace. But person who is in the knowledge, they only can give such kind of instructions. This is whenever devotees are in some temples, other devotees will solace, praying that through the prayers. Prayers are very subtle level. Sometimes bodily help is there and mental help is there. And then on top of that, the spiritual, this is prayers. Prayers act on the very subtle level. We pray to the Supreme Lord. Oh, my dear Lord, let all these devotees be in good health and make their devotional life smoother. Likewise, we pray. So that would act in the very subtle level, in the spiritual level. And some people may just help giving the food and giving some comfort. That is the physical level or bodily level. and some giving money when some person dies, just give 20 pounds, 10 pounds to help their family. That is bodily level. It is a temporary. And some people who are a little bit closer, they will help emotionally and mentally. It is better than the physical. And some better than that is the spiritual. We pray to the Lord. It would act on the spiritual level, the soul or transcendental level. Okay, that is the topmost in the way of approaching. Okay, so now here Lakshmana is solacing Ramachandra. So let us do. Let us continue our search. And Rama composed himself and got up. He sighed and gazed about, wondering which way to go. So this is the way. This is the light again, putting himself into the path of duty. And he looked at the seat outside his hut. He remembered how he had sat there with Sita by his side, how they had talked and laughed together, no, how she had teased him, pretending to be hurt by his words, or cajoling him to fetch a particular flower from deep in the woods. Okay, as he thought of his lotus-eyed wife, Rama's grief rose in repeated waves. Okay, this is not only to the Ramachandra. So here, in whenever some beloved one, so as we have been seeing a couple of examples, and the other day when Nisha Mataji was mentioning on Thursday evening, in front of her eyes, a man drowned in the water. That just hours before, he was having good time with wife and child, and later on, just within hours of moment, few hours later, the wife and child, they are now helpless. They do not have any more support. And the similar way, many people, they are leaving their bodies. That is how the grief is going to. They will remember their words and all of their time how they have spent together, and then grief will, um, you know. So grief rose in the repeated waves. Okay, so we shall move on further. Okay, what Rama is going to do? Can I request Usha Mataji to read next page, please?
Yes, Prabhu, please. A couple of large deer came close to the brothers. Ram asked if they had seen Sita. The deer then stood with their heads pointed towards the south. Rama and Lakshmana took that as a clue and sped off in that direction. They soon came upon a trail of flowers fallen on the ground. Rama dropped to his knees and picked up the petals. They were from the braid of Sita's hair. He cried out in a resounding voice, Sita, Sita. The two brothers kept running. Suddenly, they saw enormous footprints, probably of a Rakshasa. Near to it were Sita's footprints, going here and there as she even, evidently ran in fear. As they looked about, they found a huge bow lying in pieces, along with many fearsome arrows tipped with blue steel barbs. A chariot lay smashed there, still yoked to great mules with goblin heads, some of which had been torn off in what was obviously a terrible fight. The headless body of the charioteer still sat holding the reins and whip. There were strands of gold fallen from Sita's ornaments, among with a crushed garland. Rama pointed to the ground. See, here the many drops of blood. Look at these shattered weapons and this mighty bow, encrusted with pearls and gems. Whose chariot is this with its 100 ribbed canopy torn apart? 100 ribbed canopy torn apart? Look over there, glowing golden armor studded with emeralds and rubies. All these items could only belong to gods or demons. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here we see the three main things. First thing is the Ramachandra is coming to a couple of large deer, came close to the brothers, and then Ram asked if they had seen Sita. So deer then stood with their heads pointed toward the south. So every living entity has got some kind of understanding, but it is their way of showing. One must be understanding. One must understand what they are signing to us. So here days are also a little bit favorable. They are also showing some favorable omens, giving indication to Rama. And so Rama and Lakshman took that as a clue and sped off that direction. So they soon came upon a trail of flowers fallen on the ground. So this is the place where when Ravanasura is taking Sita Devi on the chariot and uh, the bird Jatayu, the gigantic vulture bird Jatayu, it is trying to come and fight Ravanasura, and then Jatayu has damaged the chariot, and then that chariot fell down, and then during the time Ravanasura holds Sita Mata in his arms, and then so that Sita Mata is not going to fall from the sky and down to the earth. And then Sita Mata was protected. Later on, there was a fight between Jatayu and Ravanasura. Meanwhile, Sita Mata was running towards the trees and holding to get and at the same time, later on, once Jatayu fell, and she was also running to Jatayu and then thinking that so compassionate towards Jatayu. Later on, Ravanasura took Sita Devi, and then Sita Mata was running and holding the trees. So at the time, so many petals were also fallen from her hair. So he cried out in resounding voice, Sita, Sita, like that. And two brothers kept running. Suddenly they saw enormous footprints, probably of this Rakshasa. This is Ravanasura's footprints. Near to it were Sita's footprints. So Sita Mata was running on the ground. It is not near to the hermitage, but it is a little bit far away from the hermitage. So as she evidently ran in fear, as Sita Mata was trying to hold the trees, running away from Ravanasura. And they also see the huge bow lying in pieces, along with many fearsome arrows tipped with blue steel barbs. A chariot lay smashed there, still yoked to great mules with goblin heads. So that the mules are also there, some of which had been torn off in what was obviously a terrible fight. This is the fight with Jatayu and Ravanasura's fight. The headless body of the charioteer the charioteer is also dead there, sat holding the reins and whip. And there were strands of gold fallen from Sita's ornaments, along with her crushed garland. So the chariot driver is also there, and the mules are also there. Chariot fell down on the ground. Rama and Lakshmana are seeing that one. And some of the gold fallen from Sita's ornaments, that is also they could see. Rama pointed to the ground. See here the many drops of blood. Look at these shattered weapons, and this mighty bow, encrusted with pearls and gems. Whose chariot is this, with its 100 ribbed canopy torn apart? And look over there, glowing golden armor, studded with emeralds and rubies. All these items could only belong to gods or demons. This Ravanasura used to go to heavens and then he used to grab all those things wherever he goes. And then he will build everything for himself. This chariot and his armor, his bow, everything are like that. But Jatayu fought in such a way, even such a powerful Rakshasa, his chariot was damaged here, and even charioteer also was died. So headless charioteer, headless body of a charioteer still sat holding the reins and whip. So Jatayu, he is not simply a bird, he has fought with his full endeavor in the Rama's service to protect Sita Devi. Okay, so now they have got some clues here. Okay, Sita Mata was taken by some Rakshasa or by looking at the footprints. Now they also see the bloods, the blood drops of blood. Now that is another clue whose blood is like that. Let us see further what has happened. Can I request Garingi Mataji, would you like to read the next page, Mataji? Do you have Mataji? Hare Krishna, Garingi Mataji. Okay, let me just read this page and then we'll stop there. Rama fell to the ground, wailingly piteously. O Lakshman, it is clear that Sita is dead. Here at this place, two Rakshasas fought for her sake. The victor would surely have consumed my darling wife. Alas, I am lost. Lakshman carefully examined the scene. There had obviously been an encounter between two very powerful beings. Perhaps Rama was right, but from the footprints there did not appear to be more than one Rakshasa. Lakshman felt that somehow Sita was still living. He assured Rama, telling him to take heart, for Sita would surely soon be recovered. So again, good hope. Lakshmana is carefully examining the scene and then telling Rama that Sita would surely be soon be recovered. She might be living. Okay? Sita was still living. As he checked his grief, Rama felt consumed by anger. The corners of his eyes turned coppery as he stood holding his bow. The Rakshasa race will soon be extinct. They have borne away Sita even as she practiced virtue. How did the gods stand by and allow this to happen? Do they not fear my wrath? Do they think I am powerless? For too long I have been mild and compassionate. Today the world will see a different Rama. This is Rama's anger because when a person, for a pativrata or a chaste woman, she cannot be touched by any man. Now, everything is happening when Sita Mata was taken by Rakshasa, Lord Brahma, he was sitting in the meditation. Then he was thinking, our purpose is fulfilled because they wanted Rama to act. Now, Rama is going to act opposite to these gods because they could not protect the Sita Mata here. They should not let such kind of things happen to the Pativratas. So now this is the mood of Ramchandra. Now they're all going to be feared. So Rama rode, giving vent to his anger. He would fill the heavens with his missiles, with his weapons. He would annihilate the entire creation. All living beings would find themselves oppressed as he discharged endless flaming arrows. The planets would be brought to a standstill, the sun obscured, and the moon brought down from the sky. The mountains would lie crushed to a powder, and the oceans would be dried up. If the gods did not bring Sita back, bring back Sita, they would find no shelter anywhere in the universe. All the worlds would be torn to pieces by Rama's arrows and nothing would remain. A blazing fire would race through all the quarters, leaving total devastation in its wake. So now Rama is very angry with him. everyone here. So Rama tightened his clothes, his lips trembled, and he pressed them against his teeth. He looked like Shiva, intent upon the destruction of the universe at the end of an age. Taking from his quiver a dreadful looking arrow, he placed it upon his bow. Today I shall not be checked by uh, conciliation or force. See now, dear Lakshman, as I bring down the gods from heaven. So this is again, the Lord is very angry towards the gods. The Lord Rama is very angry towards the gods. Okay, I shall stop there. Of course, when the Lord is in that mood, and also there is a one has to pacify the Lord as well. So here now already Lakshman, he gave some solace to Ramchandra when Ramchandra was in the lamentation. Now Ramchandra is angry. Again, Lakshmana is here to calm down his anger. Okay, so that is for everything there would be a reason. So in such kind of scenarios, we must find someone who is equipped with the knowledge, and that is spiritual master would give those instructions to the disciples. Then the bona fide spiritual masters. And Shastras give, and spiritual masters, they will give all the instructions through the books. That's why we need to read the books. Without reading books, we cannot have the knowledge, or we may fall prey to that circumstances, anger, lamentation. In order to free such kind of things, one has to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and Ramayana like that. यस्यां वै श्रूयमायानं कृष्णे परमपुरुषे भक्तिरुत्पद्यते पुंसः शोकमोहभयापः. This Ashoka, lamentation, Bhaya, the fear, and Moha, the illusion, all things will be cleared out. At the same time, love and devotion to Krishna also sprout in the heart by hearing this Srimad Bhagavatam. So here, this Ramayana is also like that. We will establish the love relationship with Ramachandra and Sita Devi. Okay, I stop there and I request dear devotees, if you have got any questions, kindly ask, or you want to share anything from the Ramayana part, kindly share. Anything which is striking your mind and you wanted to ask or share, kindly do that. So, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Usha Jai Mataji.
Yeah. I was just thinking that what you said about Ram, Lakshman gave advice to Ram and he calmed him down. And I was thinking also that the same Lakshman, he had so much anger before. We have seen that anger before in the previous chapters. When when Bharat was coming and Ram had to pacify him then. So it's the same Lakshman at this time. He completely calmed down and he gave very sound advice to Ram. So that's something that struck me. And the other bit was that Ram was asking the nature as well. You talked about the Panchbhutas, that and the trees and the deer also as well. So that's quite nice to see that at that time he could communicate with them, and vice versa. They could communicate with him as well through some sort of signs or yeah. So yeah, those two things that I quite liked in this. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So it's a very beautiful thing. When Lakshman was in angry, Rama pacified. Now Rama is in the lamentation, Lakshmana is pacifying. Okay, so both have got the same knowledge from Vasistha and Vishwamitra, and they also got their bodies they do not come under hunger and thirst, tiredness like that, because they got the knowledge, Bala Ati Bala. Those knowledge was received from the Vishwamitra. They will never get hunger and thirst. Even in Lakshman, uh, he did not take a food or water so for 14 years. He is always guarding because of those powers received from the knowledge is received from the Vishwamitra, and Rama and Lakshmana both, they are on the same level. Okay, so here Lakshmana is assisting Ramchandra. Thank you, Mataji. Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So very nice. But the Prabhu, you said that the Lakshmana haven't had any food for 14 years, Prabhu.
Yes.
Oh, okay, Prabhu. I didn't know that. And so, yeah, it's very nice to know. And so beautiful, Prabhu. As
And he didn't sleep either, did he, Prabhuji?
No, Mataji. Yes, he did not sleep as well.
wow, 14 years without eating and sleeping. It's so much nice to serve the Ram, how he served the Ram, and Sita Mata Lakshman towards the Ram, how he have love and devotion to Ram. So really beautiful. And then when something happened bad, so we can have like a lots of clue what is happened, what happened, even the little things. Even the Rama says that blood and the Sita Mata's garment here and there. So he's thinking that what had happened to Sita must be the demon had eaten her, and that yeah. So Rama is that crying like an ordinary man, and then showing the love to Sita. So very beautiful Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, and there is one part when we went to the Prayagraj. So there was some kind of Ram Kandamol, so some the big root it was kept, and we use they are just giving some scraps for 5 rupees, 10 rupees, something like that, and they said like, okay, this is the what Ram has eaten when they were in the exile of the forest. So as we're just talking like what Lakshman did not eat for food for last 14 years. So there it is described when they have entering into the forest. By the time they next after crossing the Ganges River, they got some kind of roots and then the Kandamula. So they got roots and then offer it to the fire and then they have taken it and then slept. Later on, they have continued their journey further deep. So that one we could see, but about the fruits, we do not see that Lakshmana has taken some fruits. There is another separate story as well. And who has not taken any food, they only can uh, kill Indrajit. Kill Indrajit. Indrajit's death is in the hand of a person who has not taken the food, something like that. There is another pastime, and those will be discussed after they have returned back to Ayodhya. And that past those conversations, Rama, Lakshmana, and a few others, they discuss. At that time, Rama asks, "So, didn't you eat any food?" Then Lakshmana says, "I did not eat any fruits, my dear brother. You gave me the fruits, but you did not ask me to eat. I have kept all those fruits in a basket." And then Rama asked, "Just go and bring that basket where it is kept." And then he shows all of those things, and then that is how Lakshmana's vow not eat. Lakshmana not eating those fruits, and because that gave him power to kill Indrajit or Meghanada, son of Ravanasura. Son of Ravanasura's name is Meghanada because he was defeated Indra. That's why his name is Indrajit. Okay, so that is how Lakshmana killed Indrajit when he was performing some black magic rituals. Just remembering those pastimes.
So, Prabhu, that for when Lakshmana felt unconscious, then who get that arrow? That Indrajit Prabhu?
When Lakshmana was unconscious,
No, like felt like a murcha. Then when that in the fight battlefield, so that Indrajit was the like Ravana's son was shooting the arrow.
yes, he has used Nagapasha,
Okay, okay. Oh, that yes, yes, yes.
and then
Then Lakshmana killed that Indrajit afterwards.
yes. So in that fight, the Indrajit he shoots the Nagapasha. It even ties up Rama's legs, Rama's hands, and everything. Lakshmana's legs, Lakshmana's hands. They both fall, but after some time, somewhere or other, Rama come to consciousness, and then Lakshmana is not yet. So Hanuman comes. Hanuman also comes there to rescue.
Yes, then he gets the
It is
sentinel.
Indrajit. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, Prabhu. Then Lakshmana killed him.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Anything else, Mataji?
No Prabhu, I'm just thinking that how that Indrajit was so powerful, then he can use that weapon to both Rama and Lakshmana to fell them unconscious.
Yes. So after that, Rama also tells one story. And Rama comes to consciousness, but Lakshmana does not come to consciousness. Later on, he says that, oh Lakshmana, do you remember when we were coming through the hermitage of Shabari? She gave some the fruits, badri fruits, some berries. And then at the time you did not take those fruits, but I have eaten. That made me immune to these arrows, the power of this what is this Nagapashastra. So you did not eat it, so that's why you fell unconscious. And then I have taken that one. It gave immune to something. He connected that to story as well.
Oh,
That
okay.
is again in a different part of the Ramayana we would see. What it means, this is the Badari fruits. They also have got some immune power. People who thinks of about the material body and why we need to eat, it also gives some clue for them. Sometimes people may be very dizzy and fall down sometimes because they haven't got such kind of fruits which are naturally available.
Mm. So nature gives us so much medicine, but nowadays that medication,
Yeah,
all
people,
of that, yeah.
everyone are foolishly running towards these medicines, hospitals. They're doing only business only. Unnecessarily, they keep all their faith in the hospitals and make so many of foolish people will go keep on going to the hospitals because the buildings are very nice and they're keeping nicely treating them. They're doing they're doing for their job sakes. It is not that someone is going to serve them. It is their livelihood and they do job. Previously it was not like that. The hospitals means they're built for a purpose. And people are going to the education, doctors, studying doctors, and it is not to serve, to earn money. Such kind of organizations will never ever help the society. that it will instead increase more pain and distress in the society. Previously, there were not much hospitals and there were not many vehicles, no cars, no modernization. People are dying more now than before. People are dying more with the diseases, heart attacks, cancer, so many things because of this modernization and vehicles, accidents, so many things, pollution. This causing more deaths than before. But people are running towards the phones and technology all the time, running towards the destruction very quickly. The most we fulfill desires. I want this one today. I want to eat it. I want it today itself. How soon we try to fulfill desires, that soon we are coming nearer to the death. People not realizing that one. Let the desires fulfill slowly, gradually later on. Do not hurry for it. Then life will be longer. If we make it everything just go quick, 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 death also will come very quickly. But we need to complete all the things necessary for perfection of human life, whatever the life we have got. Okay, so it's going different one. Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji, do you have any other reflections or you want to share anything, Mataji?
No, Prabhu, but Lakshman wife Urmila, she also great Prabhu, isn't it? She did the same thing back in the palace, like Lakshmana.
Yes. So Urmila, she goes to the deep slumber sleep for 14 years. Um, she has made lots of sacrifice. Now she is separating. She is living in the Ayodhya in her chambers, sleeping and without Lakshmana's association. It is also another sacrifice.
Was she sleeping all 14 years?
Yes, Mataji.
I didn't know that, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So she only woke up the time when he came back to Ayodhya.
Yes. Jai Mataji.
No, I was going to say the same thing. I think it was offered to her whether if she would help her Lakshman, and she said, I'm willing to go to sleep so my husband can look after. Something like that, wasn't it?
Yes, Mataji. When the Nidra Devi comes to Lakshmana, says, now I am at the service of Rama. Now my wife is in the Ayodhya, so just go and ask. So the husband and wife, that is, the cooperation should be there. And then Urmila, she happily takes on. And once the 14 years pass, then whenever everyone are happy, at the time Lakshman, he just blinks his eyes that Nidra Devi is touching him. And then Lakshmana, he was a little bit laughing. So there, Sugriva is there, Hanuman is there, Bharata is there, Rama, Sita are there, and everyone are there. At the time, Lakshmana was a little bit laughing whenever Nidra Devi is touching him. And now, when he was laughing, immediately everyone are thinking in different reflections. Rama is thinking one way, Sita Mata is thinking one way, Vibhishna is thinking in one way, and Bharata is thinking in one way. Everyone thinking, why Lakshmana is laughing? And they are contemplating, and Vibhishna is thinking, because did I show my Ramchandra the path how Ravanasura can be killed? Because I did not show my faith to my brother Ravanasura. For that sake, Lakshmana is laughing. That way, his contemplation. Bharata's contemplation in a different mode, in a similar way, in a negative contemplations. Rama is another thing. And later on, understanding that everyone are why Lakshmana is laughing, Ram asks Lakshmana, Lakshmana, why are you laughing? Then Lakshmana says, my dear brother, after I have been waking up for 14 years. Now Nidra Devi is touching him. Now I'm going to consume this, continue my regular sleep, something like that. He gives that reason. So, and also one must not laugh unnecessarily in a inappropriate time. It will give so many of different meanings to different people. One should not laugh unnecessarily in inappropriate place, in inappropriate time. One must be grave all the time, and we should not also, whenever we communicate, we need to be very careful about our communications. Is it required? Otherwise, it will give so many other things. Is it required? What happens? If it is not required just only for information purposes, let us not do it. If it is there any action thing, yes, it is required. So that then there should be a purpose. Otherwise, it will just only bring, we will lose the value for that communications. We need to be very careful. So Lakshmana was just even the laughing. It is not, it is for his personal thing. But here Rama is giving such kind of thing. We would come through those things at the end of the Ramayana. Every bit is not fun. There is a serious lesson, good lessons for ourselves from the Ramayana, Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, so many other things. Okay. Any other questions or reflections, dear devotees? Gauringi Mataji? Okay, so there are no questions or no sharings.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, just one more thing. While you were talking with Usha Mataji about that berry, the fruit,
Yes.
Shabri was giving. So not only has it got its medicinal properties, but I was also thinking that because it was coming from Shabri Mataji herself, who was a pure devotee, and she was tasting it first and then giving it, even though it was mixed with her saliva or whatever, even coming that from a pure devotee like a remnant, that might have given extra immunity as well. I don't know, I was just thinking like that.
Yes, very nice thinking, Mataji. Yes, Shabari was going through all those austerities and penances. She was belonged to Shabra family, and her parents were trying to get her married, but she does not like. And then she ran to the hermitage of Matanga Rishi, and then she was serving those sages. And those sages, when they were in the sleep, she used to wake up in the night, midnight, and then do all those things, cleansing all the hermitage and bringing the water, keeping nice, tidy, the doing the rangoli, something like that, and keeping flowers ready, whatever is required, paraphernalia for their sacrifice in the morning. And then she would go away, far away from the hermitage. And then in the morning, as soon as the sages look up, wake up, Matangarish and all of them, uh, they were thinking, who has done all these things for ourselves? And then it has continued for a few days, and later on, they wanted to know who that person is doing all the good things. And then Matangarishi also mentions that if someone is doing all good for us and they are taking the share of our austerities and penances, and then he also mentions that now uh, we will leave from this place. And then when they're leaving, uh, they know that Shabari is there, and then Shabari belongs to Shabra family, Shabra group. That's why she is called Shabari. And then that Rishi says to Shabari, and then because you have rendered great service to the sages, the devotees, and now soon you are going to see the Lord, and then you stay in this hermitage itself, and then you perform, and then one day the Lord will come to you and see you. And then in such a way, they says to Shabari, and Shabari stays there, and the sages leave. Shabari, since that point of time, every day she prepares flower garland. She brings some kind of fruits so that the Lord is going to come to her home. Likewise, since her young age to the old age, every day she has been doing that one for the sake of Rama, waiting every day. Every day nicely decorating the house that Rama is going to come to tomorrow, today, or something like that. In such a way, finally Lord has come to her home. That is, all austerities of Shabari, they have come in true, and the sages' words came true. Lord is directly seeing Shabari directly. At the time, with her love and devotion, she gave those fruits, whatever the fruits she has collected, and then again, when she has collected, whether she is checking each and every fruit, whether it is sweet or not, whether it will be nice for Rama or not, she is tasting. Of course, that is in different part of the scriptures also mentioned. uh, she was tasting something like that. That one in other scripture, other Ramayanas. Okay, but she gave the fruits to Rama. So in such a Rama blessed her. That is again devotee and the Lord relationships. Lord is Bhaktavatsala. Lord is Bhaktavatsala. Lord is um, not Yogi Vatsala or Jnana Vatsala. He is Bhaktavatsala. Thank you, Jai Mataji, for sharing that point. So, but that is testing of it's not the immune, but it is the devotees, the love that goes to the devotion, not on the bodily level.
No, that's what I meant, that, her love
Yes.
was coming out, and that was giving him more, that sort of like immunity, not immunity as, but in other way, it was making him strong. The love was coming out. That's what I meant.
Yes, Mataji, yes. Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Any other things? Okay, if there are no further updates or sharings, then we shall conclude and continue further japa. वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण कॉन्शियस डे एवरीवन। हरे कृष्ण। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री